the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It's your boy Rumboyz Robbie. I am just getting set up right now. Just got back in the door from the beer run, so we're about to have a really good stream. Whew. Let me get my lighting set up. Taco, how's it going, bro?
It's going good, brother. I'm opening some baby bottles from my fiance so she can wash them. But watching this game so far, I've been a little frustrated because I took a risky play. I put Taysom Hill into my tight end position, feeling that they're going to be forced to be creative, give him the ball, give him a couple opportunities, and I was hoping that he did a little bit more than he did. So that's frustrating. And then I just got news that Zay Jones is not playing, who I drafted him in my 14-team league. So I've been playing him. I played him last week and rostering him in a few leagues. So that one kind of hurt. But luckily, I didn't make one good pickup in my 14-team league. I picked up Josh Reynolds because we had him on St.
Nice.
So I was like, let me get Reynolds early just in case he doesn't play. And he got ruled out early, so it felt good. But then today they could.
You mean Josh Reynolds? Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, Josh Reynolds. He's going to be interesting today because it looks like him and Stafford. I'm not Stafford. Goff have rapport. Like if you look at last season and some of this season, he's gotten when he's been on the field for opportunities, he's made the most of it. He's had some decent games. He's had some solid target share games. So while it's a bit of a risky play, I'm fully putting him in lineups today. Josh Reynolds.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, if you're dealing with any last minute injuries, I recommend the Josh Reynolds play. I like that play. Let's go ahead here. Whew. Let's get into some comments. There we go. Oh no, that happened. Can we tell that I'm having a rough morning?
You know who else is having a rough morning? These Saints. Woof. Nasty.
Aiden says, yo, PPR, Dylan or JWJ and Sutton or Pittman with all these with all those Titans inactives. I really like Pittman today. I like Pittman today. I think that you're gonna get a good ROI on Pittman.
Is JWJ Jamal Williams?
No, that's Jeff Wilson Jr.
Oh God, no. Please stay away from Jeff Wilson Jr. I'd rather take the risk with I feel like Jeff Wilson Jr. is safe, but the upside there is so limited because of the way they use Deebo Samuels. Like if you look at it in that game where they were playing catch up or they were trying to milk the clock, how many times did Deebo come in, whether it's a passing play and he's running those routes or just on some running plays? I just don't like the volume upside on Jeff Wilson Jr. Like he's super touchdown dependent. Whereas AJ Dillon, I just still believe in the guy. He's had 2 bad weeks, but I still think that he's going to get enough of the workload.
Yeah, I would in that situation. I would go Pittman, and I would probably go Pittman and Sutton. I mean, yeah, the Packers have a super soft matchup today. So that's going to be something actually probably pretty fascinating. But Aaron Jones being in that backfield, that's something you kind of gotta look out for.
There's a lot of weeks where they both returned RB2 value at the very least, where both of them had that kind of value. And like you said, this is kind of a soft game where you could see them up early and then they're just milking clock and milking plays, and that's kind of feeding into a Dillon game.
Yeah, I like that. I like that call.
Sutton's interesting though, because my man's had some decent games, and Wilson though he's been
Sutton's the one in Denver. He is the wide receiver one in Denver. I think that we've had enough evidence to kind of point in that direction and show us that something must have just happened in the Saints Vikings game. What's up?
They finally let Taysom Hill get a little bit of running in there. I played him at tight end too, so it's like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to really capitalize. I need him to break off a big one. I think
I would have never done that. That is way too risk adverse. What your Taysom Hill usually does not give you a positive ROI, and you should know this.
But remember this: there was no Winston. Kamara's out. You're in London. I figured he's going to get a couple of little splash plays. It's a big national game. You know, they like to show off how smart
But you're relying on a very, very low percentage of those splash plays
You're right,
happening.
but it's tight end, and I was going to play Logan Thomas. I was like, that. How much upside does Logan Thomas have? This guy breaks one big run. Taysom Hill's back.
You were better off playing. You were better off playing Logan.
Taysom Hill's back in the game. He's at tight end now. He's on the field. They might run it, but that's weird. Why would you bring him in to block? I hate that I'm on delays now because I don't have cable. I'm on streaming.
I got that YouTube TV, son. So taking a look at today, the defense I probably would be recommending to play in DFS would be the Cardinals defense. I want to make sure I throw that out there. The Panthers aren't good. Like Baker Mayfield isn't being Baker. Like he's not playing with that chip on his shoulder. He's not the same Baker that he was in college. We're not seeing that get away from the cop speed that he used to display. The offense just
get away from the cop speed,
bro. Remember that video of him fucking running from the police? That motherfucker. I was like, yo, that's a D1 fucking QB. Y'all motherfuckers ain't catching him.
Oh, that's hilarious. So, question: Are you running on? I'm assuming DraftKings, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna log in just so I can have some numbers.
Go to the pool for today. Did you enter a lineup for the pool?
Yep, I gotta change it up because I had Zay Jones in there. That bastard.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that.
Cause he's been sexy, bro. He's been him and Kirk have been putting up same targets.
I'm honestly playing today. I'm trying to get this stylus out of this fucking laptop, and I might have to grab my other one. Fucking like I'm honestly playing McLaurin today. I'm playing McLaurin, Amari Cooper. What's my entire DFS line? Give me 1 second. What's up, CB? Slap yourself. Entertainment up in the chat. Love seeing that. Love seeing the green up in the chat. I love seeing that membership pop up. Let me check my DFS lineup really quick.
First and goal. Guess who the QB is?
Taysom Hill.
Give me that garbage time. Well, not garbage time, but give me that cheap one. Give me that cheap one.
You better pray that you fucking get in. So a lineup that I submitted today. Can you still hear me?
Let's go!
You got Taysom Hill TD?
Taysom Hill rushing TD, baby.
Okay.
Let's go!
Dortch or DJ Moore? Oh man.
Dortch.
Probably go Dortch at this moment. Like I just think that the Cardinals are gonna run all over. They're gonna crush fucking Panthers. Like I just don't see the Panthers playing a great game today. They're just not clicking. There's a lot of turmoil going on in that organization right now. Rule's probably working his way out of a job. Like it's just not good at all.
Damn, bro.
Moore is back, Rondale Moore. Yeah, but they've been getting good production out of Dortch. I think that Dortch could move Rondale out of a spot. He could outwork him possibly here. Let me see this DFS lineup. All right, so I got Carson Wentz at QB today. Hoping for a bounce back week against Dallas. Stephon Diggs at receiver. Terry McLaurin at receiver, and Amari Cooper at receiver. I just think that those are all going to be big games for them. Jamal Williams at running back, Miles Sanders at running back, Logan Thomas at tight end, Dallas Goedert in the flex, and Cardinals defense.
That's interesting because my lineup, and I'll run it down. Where is it? Okay. I'm running the Giants defense, who I like also this week because they're facing a disgusting Bears team that's not going to have David Montgomery. Their passing attack has been super suspect, and rushing the ball. I mean, they slowed down Henry and CMC rushing. Now, last week versus the Cowboys, they really ran the ball on us. They were like Pollard had over 100, and I think Zeke had over 100. We were missing Leonard Williams, who actually won't be playing again for this game as well, so that does make it a little bit more difficult. But I'm not as worried about the receivers on the outside because they don't have anyone quite as nearly as good as CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb had made some big plays that game. So I think that the Giants should be able to stop this run. And once you stop the run, the Bears are trash because I don't even think they let Justin Fields throw at all. Like I did a parlay, and betting Justin Fields throwing over 100 yards was actually like a super boost. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the bookies don't even think he's going to throw that much. So I like the Giants defense in this one. Quarterback, I'm running Trevor Lawrence. I know it's a risky matchup versus the Eagles. That defense has been solid, but at a 5,700 price point with his upside and with how well he's playing, I like him. I'm playing Ramondre Stevenson versus Green Bay. Again, I'm liking the way his volume has gone up. He's looking more and more like a RB1. He catches, he runs. I think that he scores in this matchup. Jamal Williams, I mean, that's just a pure value upside play.
Yeah.
Swift. There's no Amon St. Brown. There's no Chark. This guy's going to be involved often, and that's also why I'm playing Josh Reynolds as one of my wide receivers. He's at 4,600. I think for that price point, it's worth the risk because you're looking at a guy that's probably going to get a good volume. Now, probably a lot of people are going to jump on this one because it is, pretty obvious. It's like, hey, 4,600, only wide receiver. Yep. He should be a solid value. So it could cause where you have a lot of people going for it. But I think at that price point, it's not bad for your cheap guy because it's like the upside is right there.
And he's been getting off. He's been eating and getting his. So I mean, yeah, I'm gonna agree with you there.
And then I spend a little money because I take CeeDee Lamb. I take Tyler Lockett again. Tyler Lockett's target share has been pretty ridiculous. He's looking like the number one. They're facing Detroit, where Detroit's good, but they're not great. I got to see who. I think their top corner, though, has been ridiculous. I forgot.
Okudah?
Yeah, he's been shutting people down from what I remember. So I'm hoping that DK Metcalf gets him on his side, which will mean Lockett.
If Okudah's on DK, then Okudah's gonna be done. Like Okudah's done for. Like straight up. Like I could see Seattle getting off in that game just because, like, yeah, I could see Seattle getting off.
Yep. And then I rounded out with Judy and Andrews. I think we were just talking Sutton's number one, clear cut. I don't think there's any debate. But eventually, Judy's going to have to get it going, right? I mean, this is a divisional matchup versus Las Vegas. You need the win. Judy hasn't done much.
Vegas is 0-3. Vegas is the only winless team.
Yeah.
Take that narrative with how you will, but they are favored. They are favored.
You know what's crazy? A lot of people thought they were going to maybe win the division. How insane is that?
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Okay, right here, right now. All right. Wake me up when September ends. September is over. It is officially Rumtober. This is Rumtober football now. Like everyone has had rust shaken off. Injuries are going to begin to rear its ugly head and play a factor. Weather is going to get ready to play a factor. Travel distance is going. Now, you got to remember the preseason was only 3 games, folks. For a lot of these teams, that's what the opening of the season realistically was. If you're asking me if the Raiders fans are panicking about being 0-4, those players probably aren't realistically. They're probably like, all right, like let's put together a run. Let's see how we can put together a run. And that run could very well start today.
The only problem for the Raiders, though, their division.
That is true. That is true. But hear me out, okay? What lesson did we fucking learn Thursday night when the lines moved and the bookies knew something? Why is a 0-3 team being favored? You don't think that they know something? 4-leg parlay, says Justin. He's got Chargers -3 at the first half, Rams money line, Giants money line, and Browns money line. I like that, actually.
Yeah. Who are the Chargers playing this week?
Let's go ahead and go to it, and let's also talk about that line. 1 second here. It's loading. It's loading. It's raining. It's pouring. It is loading super slow. Okay. So you have the Chargers playing Houston
Mm.
and the Chargers are a 250 favorite. Houston a 210 dog. I feel like you gotta take LA there.
Okay, here's my question then. We know that Keenan Allen's not playing this week. We've seen that Mike Williams has been, I would say, hit or miss for lack of a better word, because week 1 he wasn't good, week 3 he wasn't good, week 2 he blew up. Week 3, I think the only catch he made was that beautiful one-handed grab in the end zone. How do we feel? I'm in most cases, I'm assuming it's almost impossible to take Mike Williams out of your lineup. You drafted him with high draft capital. His upside is ridiculous. We know he's more of a boom bust player. But a player that I'm looking at that's super interesting for this matchup is Joshua Palmer. Joshua Palmer in his last 2 games, if we look at it, he had 4 receptions for 30 yards versus KC, but he caught that late touchdown to save himself, right? But then in this game versus Jacksonville, he became more of a target hog. He had 9 targets in the game. He had 6 receptions, and they went for 99 yards. So he did have now 2 solid games in a row. There's no Keenan Allen in this matchup, and we know that Mike Williams is having these issues. Is he someone that you guys are, or that you would play in daily lineups, or is someone that you could bring into season long as well? I think that becomes an interesting issue in one league. I'm looking at a debate of I need to start 2 between Lockett, Ramondre Stevenson, Chris Godwin, Gabriel Davis, Joshua Palmer, and Jeff Wilson Jr. And it's a little difficult for me. I'm still going to have to game this out as we get closer and closer. Currently, I have Stevenson and Lockett in, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to take Lockett out. And I'm going to probably run with Godwin because it looks like Godwin's going to play, but I'm not sure. Gabe Davis is an attractive matchup as well, but last week he really burned me, and I'm just not sure how I feel.
I would. Well, I would probably plan for Davis to maybe have a bounce back at this given point.
Yeah.
And I'd be willing to anticipate that. With Lockett, I would probably take Lockett out. Like, I think that Detroit game is going to be very sloppy football. It's going to be very, very sloppy football.
My only issue here with Lockett is in his last 2 games, he's had 11 targets in each game and he's had 9 receptions. And it's PPR. So it's like, even if it's a sloppy, nasty game, he could just get enough catches to like keep himself at a solid. Like, he had 19 and 16 points in his last 2 games. Now that game versus Denver, he had 5.8, but he's looking like Geno Smith's favorite target right now.
I'm thinking because of the injury concerns on the offensive side of the ball with Detroit, that I think that defense is going to. If Detroit wins that game, in order for Detroit to win that game, it has to be a defensive battle. Detroit has to be on their fucking shit, like just straight up, like Detroit has to be on point, bro. And like, I just don't. I see Detroit having some a few miscues with not having Amon-Ra St. Brown and not having DeAndre Swift. I think those 2 blows alone should make it to where they're not the favorites in this matchup. Seattle, to me, should probably be the favorite in this. So while you have them as a dog, that's the stock that you're buying today.
That's an interesting way to put it. Because, I mean, Gabe Davis, in this team, I have Diggs and I have Gabe Davis.
I think you're justified in starting Lockett. I don't think that you can start both Diggs and you should start both Diggs and Davis. There's some lower cost guys.
Well, this is in season long.
Oh, season long?
Yeah. That's kind of where
Who do you have on your bench?
So the play that I have right now is I have to start 2 between Tyler Lockett, Gabe Davis, Ramondre Stevenson, Chris Godwin, Joshua Palmer, and Jeff Wilson Jr.
Put in Godwin.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Go Godwin. Yeah. Go Godwin.
That's where
no, keep Lockett in, pull Gabe Davis out, and put Godwin in where Davis is.
That's what I was thinking too, but this is where shit gets fucking sweet because
you have to remember that in that Bills game, they are facing Baltimore.
Baltimore's been shitty in the secondary.
Baltimore has been shitty in the secondary. Both of these teams though play each other rapidly. You're not knowing what to expect in this game.
True.
It could very well be a 40 all game heading into.
I know that's what makes Gabe Davis so interesting to me because it's like if it's a shootout and they have a bad secondary, game theory would lead you to believe he's probably going to catch a big one.
I mean, but Godwin's also playing against the Chiefs.
I know, dude. This is what happens when you get stacked teams. Like this is what happens when you're good drafters. You put yourself into these stupid decisions every fucking week.
I would maybe play. I would probably play Godwin today. I mean, look at that line. It's what minus 105, 105, or like 115, 115. Like it's an even line.
I'm a firm believer that Godwin is the number one by far. He is that number one for Tom Brady because of the way he operates. He operates in Tom Brady's favorite spaces, that intermediary, that short.
Play Godwin. Play Godwin.
Yeah. That's what I needed. He's in the lineup, baby. Let's go.
Because you have to think about it from the aspect of like Brady's had two bad, shitty games, back to back. He needs to get a bounce back. He needs to get his lick back. Mike Evans, the suspension is over, right?
Yep. Oh shit. JJJ.
Slap.
JJJ.
Slap. Going back to that Raiders conversation and analyzing it from the Broncos side. The Broncos got to get something clicking and they got to get something flowing. They have not looked good this year. They have looked like shit. You're only scoring on 14% of the time that you're down in the run zone. You're not putting up points. You're not scoring at a high clip. And that hurts. That's hurting you guys. You cannot win football games like that. You cannot keep playing these close-ass, weird type of games. So, I mean, Denver being the underdog today, I think that's fair. I think that's a very fair assessment. Like, if there's a way that the Raiders get their first win, it'll be today.
How much of an underdog are they? It shouldn't be a big underdog, right?
It's fairly decent. Here, let me go back and look.
To me, I think that's more of a toss-up game because I do like the Broncos' offense hasn't been that good, but I do expect them to come back around.
It's a toss-up. The Raiders are a 145 favorite.
That's not that big.
It's not that big. I mean, you got the Broncos at a plus 125.
Are you peeping the game in London?
Right now, I have stats and stuff up for this next one.
I'll give you a quick breakdown because it just got spicy. So, Vikings get down to the red zone. They do a handoff. It was a reverse. It went to Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson runs in the end zone for a touchdown. Now they're up 3. They send the field goal kicker out there. He misses the extra point. So it's a 3-point game with about I forgot the amount of time. I think maybe like between 4 and 7 minutes, something like that. And Saints ball. So things can get really spicy right now.
Yeah. Leeds brings up a very good point. Hackett versus McDaniels is going to be a fun matchup of two coaches who don't know jack shit of what they're doing. No, like honestly, that one is going to be very, very interesting for us to break down and commentate this evening. Because you're right. Like both these coaches haven't played the latest copy of fucking Madden.
How do the Raiders keep picking such shitty coaches every single time?
That's a Denver thing. That's a Denver thing. Like they when they thought that Fangio was going to be the guy, and it's like, yo, that man is a dinosaur. Like the NFL has changed so damn much
Yeah.
Like, no,
Yeah.
he is not. He will have a fucking heart attack on the goddamn sideline before he coaches you to a playoff season. Yeah, no, they're and now they got Nathaniel Hackett, who has no experience head coaching. Period. I mean, you got to get an opportunity in order to get some experience, but I don't think that opportunity should come in the fucking NFL. But I mean, the Hackett family, they they're legends. You
He also
know,
has green. He also has a Aaron Rodgers like vocal support, which I guess is like a huge boost on your resume when you have a guy like that swears by you. So it kind of makes it easier, I think, for a team to be like, all right, fuck it, we'll give you a shot because
yeah,
you also had Wilson at that point. So it's like they hired him after they had Wilson, if I'm remembering
yeah,
correctly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He was brought in as the kind of help Wilson, if you will.
My favorite part of Sunday is the let Wilson cook memes. Oh my god.
Wilson
Those,
ain't cooking shit. He is.
they have the uncooked hot dog and the cereal.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Fucking
so
here,
funny.
let's get into to some more to some more games. So
Oh,
here we'll kind of walk the slate here. By the way, 25-22 in that Minnesota New Orleans game that's taking place in London. So Philly Jacksonville, Philly favorite 265 to 225. Jacksonville is always these plus 200 dogs, and they're playing decent football right now. Like Jacksonville's not playing bad football. By the way, Michael Gallup available at 47%. He's only rostered in 47% of leagues.
who?
Michael Gallup.
Mm.
And Romeo Dobbs is only rostered at 44%. Palmer rostered at 37%. Josh Reynolds rostered at 5%. So you guys need some guys. There's four right there that are just notably available. That data coming via ESPN.
Also, if you had someone that's out and you have a free roster spot, holding on to a guy like Brian Robinson, I feel like this week because he should be back next week to
He
get
should be
ahead of
back
the
next week.
waivers. I think that's an interesting one. And Wandale Robinson, if you have an available IR spot, I think he's a sneaky ad now because there's no wide receivers there. With Shepard being out and him not playing, he's
And
a
Tony
sneaky
just not.
volume play.
Yeah.
If you have an open IR spot, I'm not saying bench spot, but if you have an IR spot because he's out, you can slide him in there. I think he'll be interesting.
Okay. But no, going back to the topic that I brought up. What are you thinking about that Jacksonville Philly game? Like I
I,
said, Jacksonville always these plus 200 dogs, but
I'm
they're playing
buying it
football.
at plus 6.5. You telling me you're giving them they're basically like a touchdown underdog? I'll take that. I think that Jacksonville is going to be sneaky in this game. Like I said, I think Trevor Lawrence has really elevated his gameplay from last year. Really shows how much coaching matters in the NFL, especially at the quarterback position. Because last year he looked inept. This year he's looking like the guy that we saw in college. He's super accurate. He's able to make all the throws. And I think that this is a game where, I think we saw last week where Slay was a little banged up. They played Minnesota last week, if I remember correctly, right?
Mhm.
He was banged up at the end of the game with his ankle injury. I don't know how healthy he's going to be for this game, which just kind of gives me a little bit more belief in Lawrence for this game. And I think that Lawrence has his coming out party. This is the game where people finally say, yep, Trevor Lawrence is that dude. Because you know what? In college, he's looked like it. In the pros, he's starting to look like it. But this is the first national spotlight game I feel like he's had in his career where people are going to look at this game to see what you could do because Hurts and the Eagles are on fire. They're 3-0.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now is a shot for Jacksonville, who's at 2-1. They're 2-1, I believe, to really come in and make a statement. You win this game, Trevor Lawrence. Now you're on the map. You're not a superstar. You're not anything, but they're not going to call you Baker Mayfield or anything like that.
No, like if Jacksonville goes out and wins today,
Yeah,
which is very much so like within the realm of possible. If there's anything that the NFL has taught us through these couple of weeks, legitimately anything and everything is possible.
yep.
You know, I I I could see that being an upset.
Yep.
Like
Or even a 3-point loss. Like I could see it like being a close game. Eagles win on a field goal. Like that kind of game really puts it to the Jags making a big deal, and that plus 6.5 makes it look sexy to me because I could see them losing a close game.
Yeah. Damian Pierce or Gibson, full PPR. I feel like you got to run Gibson today.
That Damian Pierce workload is so fucking sexy, though.
It
Like
is.
he's starting to get in on way more passing plays as well.
It is, but we have to look at Dallas, Washington historically, and we also have to take into account that Rivera is going to use this game to try and get Washington back on track. And we have to remember that Dallas, like, they're looking half decent. They're not looking good. They're not there. There's no wow factor.
Micah Parsons.
Micah, that I was just about to say. Micah Parsons is that wow factor.
Yeah.
But that those games are usually played typically close, and in order to keep a game close like that, and to maintain an edge, you're gonna have to rely on the run. I probably would play Gibson in that one.
I'd be more ballsy and go Pierce. I just his upside is too sexy to me. He's looked good. Houston's a bad team. He's being involved in passing plays. Gibson, I just don't trust this year.
So do you really you really think that Bosa, Derwin James, you really think they're gonna fucking let Damian Pierce get loose? That Chargers defense is not letting running backs be successful, bro.
You're right, but didn't James Robinson have a big game last week?
James Robinson is going to get his irregardless, though. And you also didn't have a fully healthy Justin Herbert.
That's true. That's true.
There's a lot of factors, in that last week. They're like the Chargers are significantly better than Houston.
Yes. Unless Herbert is still really ailing, then this game gets a little bit closer because if Herbert's not able to make all the throws, then
there's more in the playbook that you have to account for.
Yes.
In regards to Washington, because you have the jet sweeps from Curtis Samuel, then you have McLaurin who's going to be able to go up and go big. Then you got this rookie Jahan Dotson who's just going fucking ape shit right now. He's wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3 among rookies right now. Something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like there's more because of the X's and O's in Washington that create in the personnel grouping. You got Logan fucking Thomas, who he could just head right up the seam on you. And like if you're bringing Michael Parsons in, you're leaving that fucking seam open. So that's going to be available. Whereas like the Chargers defense, they're going to drop back 7 on you. They're going to dare you to fucking pass, and they're also have the ability to contain the run. It's a lot. I feel like Damian Pierce has when you analyze the defenses that both running backs have to run against, Gibson has and then you have Rivera who's drawing up the plays for Gibson. So that's going to give Rivera being a little bit of a smarter coach than Levy.
I agree with that.
I think I'm gonna go with Gibson. Also, another I had is Ayuk, Dotson, or Julio. I would probably go Ayuk.
I would probably go Ayuk as well. Okay, quick little update. New Orleans, 60-yard field goal. Tied game. 1:51 left. Garbage time. Justin Jefferson could be on the slate right about now. Same thing with little Adam Thielen. So
I got a Thielen.
You know what I just saw that was interesting? The over-under for the Chargers and Texans is at 45, and the over-under for the Commanders and Cowboys is at 41. That's a little crazy. That's going to be flipped.
NFC East games are usually
low scoring.
I would. But here's what I would do on that one. I'd be willing to take the over on that. At 40, you mean to tell me 41 and a half?
41, not even the half.
41? So yeah, at 41, yeah, give me that over.
Damn. Okay. Ballsy one. Giants game. 39.5 over under.
You guys are playing
Bears.
Bears. Yeah, over. Give me the over. Start to full PPR, Juju, Gabe Davis, Akers, Ramadre.
Damn, bro. I'll tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not playing Juju.
Yeah, I'm not playing Juju. But wait, let me use this other weed first.
Okay, I'd
Um,
probably go Gabe Davis and Ramondre Stevens just because Akers has been so volatile. But I pretty much have the same exact debate in a couple leagues. So
I,
I'm
I
not-
would I would go Gabe Davis, and Ramondre as well. But don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Remember what I said earlier, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rumtober. Rumtober football is officially here. If there's a time that the Rams start now switching up their playbook and showing some different looks, there's a time where we start seeing more Cam Akers and more Allen Robinson. This is the time where it kind of fucking starts and it starts to unravel itself. Teams start opening up the playbook a whole hell of a lot more in October. So we need to take that into mind.
Look at what happened last week. Akers started getting more touches than Henderson as far as running goes. They've already started. Now the problem is he had that goal line fumble,
Yep.
which we have to see how that carries over from week to week, which makes him a little bit scarier in my opinion, because McVay is the type to when you're in the doghouse, you might be in the doghouse for a week or two, and you're just not sure if he's like, hey, you need to make sure you don't fumble. You may be our guy. We're gonna keep you out though a little bit more in this game because you know what, you have to learn, you have to take care of the ball.
Yeah, no, I think I like I think I like where the direction that Cam Akers is starting
Yeah.
to the
Interesting buy low
trajectory.
guy. I think he's a good buy low guy right now.
Yeah, I think he's becoming a decent buy low.
Yeah.
Let's give Akers one more week though. But for you, yeah, Gabe Davis and Ramondre. Ramondre is a little bit of a volatile play. Juju just too much boomer buzz. Then there's
Oh,
that Buccaneers defense. What just happened?
JJJ. Just
Justin Jefferson.
yep. They hit a big play and they're in field goal range now.
Yo, I find it so interesting that Robinson is RB15, but like the film would make you think that like he should be so much higher.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
fucking AJ Dillon RB20.
It I, like the thing about that matchup though is if they're blowing out the Patriots, he should be the workload guy at the end of that game.
Yeah, I mean, but and they will blow the
The
Patriots
Patriots look
out.
like shit. The Patriots look like they're the Broncos. Like, make no mistakes about it. Matt Patricia and Joe Judge should not be fucking running that offense. They need to change that shit up quick, fast, and in a hurry. But with that being said, they're starting to move Ramondre Stevenson more into that featured back role. And he is a solid pass catcher. So if they're down, I'm not necessarily worried about Stevenson because he should still be fed the rock, even on short dump offs and little design plays just to get the ball out quick. So I'm not afraid of Stevenson, but that game is just feeling pretty shitty.
I mean, remember what I've always said: the jury is still out on Mac Jones. Everyone's saying Mac
I
Jones
think
was the
it's
best
trash.
quarterback out of that class, and I always said no. Like I don't believe in the kid's ability
Mm-mm.
to really transition that offense and to be for New England what New England is used to and what New England got out of Brady. You're not going to get that out of Mac Jones. You're not going to get another Brady ever again. We're not going to get another Brady for any team for a very long time. Like
Nope.
we're gonna have we're about to experience the Michael Jordan effect in the NFL. And what I
Yep.
mean by that is you're never going to get another six ring guy in your
Oh,
generation again.
yeah. Yeah.
You
I
know,
agree with that. I agree.
we're never going to get what Brady has 7.
No, he is 6, I believe. But I think the thing about that you're saying is right. I don't think we're gonna have that solid guy, but I think the NBA didn't get LeBron for a couple more years after that, and I feel like the NFL already has their LeBron, and that's Pat Mahomes. Like that dude is box office. But then you add in Josh Allen and all these other guys, so it's going to be a different era in the NFL where we went from
Yeah,
one guy dominating to now you have a bunch of guys who are superstars that are going to battle each other out.
exactly.
Mhm.
So yeah, yeah, I like where the league is going right now. I like that we kind of just
Yeah.
brought that up. Clyde Edwards-Helaire going literally nowhere. Zero rush yards last week for 7 carries. He's not the lead back. Out snapped by McKinnon in all 3 games. Bad matchup against the Bucks. Fewest points allowed to running backs. So something to keep in mind when starting Clyde Edwards-Helaire tonight. Um, I think that one's going to be tough for the Chiefs to really, really, really establish the run. Uh, the Bucks having the game back together makes that matchup just so tantalizing, to be honest.
For real.
What are we thinking about the Jets today against fucking Pittsburgh?
I was looking at that as well.
Yeah. So let's
under at 41. Jets are plus 3.5.
Yeah.
Or plus 3, I should say. I mean, betting wise, I like the Jets. Game wise, I think it's a little risky, but
I like the Jets.
Part of me wants to believe that Zach Wilson is gonna have a big game.
Yeah, I want Zach Wilson to go out there and just fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Like we've had tons of Zach Wilson memes. We've gassed him up for the whole Cougar shit like during the all season.
Yep.
Trubisky's a fucking bum.
Yep.
Yep. For real. Give me New York in this one. What's the line? What's the line in that? 175, right?
Let's see. It's plus 140 for the Jets straight up, negative 165 for the Steelers, and then Jets are plus 3, Steelers are minus 3.
What were the Jets money line? Sorry,
plus 140.
Plus 140. Dude, at plus 140, I'm taking that. I'm riding off into the fucking sunset.
Yeah. Oof.
Like they're playing not bad football. Like if it was Joe Flacco, I'd feel so much more confident in taking the Jets because he hasn't been doing bad. We don't know what we're going to get out of Zach Wilson, so that's where I worry.
I'll say this: Joe Flacco has been bad, but he had such a good garbage time game that when he came back versus Cleveland, that people are kind of like, all right, he hasn't been terrible, but no, like all Jets fans, like I'm in a group chat with Jets fans, they were clamoring for Mike White. Like he's not sexy. Like not only not sexy, he's not mobile. Like pass rush is able to get to him pretty quick. So I think it's better for the Jets that you have Zach Wilson because one thing about Zach Wilson, he's way more athletic than we give him credit for. He can run and he can get outside the pocket. He's mobile, way more mobile than a lot of people give him credit for. So personally, I'm excited to see the proposition of Zach Wilson with this offense. Elijah Moore, guys, I think this is going to be the game where you finally see him back.
Garrett Wilson is the guy up there right now, I feel.
He is, but there's rapport with Moore and Wilson, Zach Wilson, that is. So I think that.
But realistically, how much like how
last
much
season at the end of the year they were really rolling.
They were connecting, but because there's this new shiny hot toy.
True.
Garrett Wilson, true.
And I think in a couple of weeks Garrett Wilson will be that, and he's just too talented not to be. But I think in a game like this, you might go back to your old favorite. Just because, again, it's your first game back. You missed some games, so you weren't even there for all of the preseason. And that's where Homeboy started to...
I fucking love this joke right here. Kirk Cousins realized that London games are not prime time. Fuck. Like, oh, shit, no one's watching me this early in the morning? What happened?
Big play to Chris Olave down the field from Dalton. 10 seconds left. They're trying to spike the ball so they can get one more play in. Oh my God. Harrison Smith got hurt. They have to call an injury timeout.
Who are you taking in the Bears Arizona game? Or not Bears Arizona. In the fucking Arizona God damn it.
Arizona. I don't trust the Panthers. I think that team is shit. I think that team is shit. I think it's interesting that they're at 43.5 for that total game. I think that might go under because both offenses have looked inept.
I think a pick six happens in that. I think the Cardinals get a pick six. I think Budda Baker takes one to the house.
Ooh. Just a quick little update. We don't know how big it's going to be, but what's his face? Chris Olave was grabbing at his leg after he made that big play. He did line up. There was an injury timeout called because of Harrison Smith. So it's 12 seconds left. They're very close to field goal range, but Chris Olave was grabbing at that leg. So that's something to keep in mind on for coming out of this week. Because Chris Olave, bro, is looking like
Chris Olave is him.
Stud.
Yeah, Chris Olave, like everything that we thought that he was gonna be,
Yeah,
he's doing. So honestly, like a lot of these first round rookie receivers have kind of like impressed me.
yeah. You know
Like
what that like, and this is a ballsy one, but someone that I've stashed because I'm someone where if I have an empty open IR spot, I am grabbing someone. I do not like to leave my IR spots empty if I don't have if you know I have the opportunity. And Williams, the wide receiver that Detroit drafted, Lord knows he's out, he's hurt. It's not easy, but
shouldn't he be returning like next week or something?
I think he returns either sometime in October or in November. So I'm stashing him personally, especially when you look at how good these rookie receivers have been. If it costs you nothing, if you're able to just get him and stash him, I think that's a solid play. Because again, he's not holding a roster spot up because he's on IR, and he has a ton of upside. We in college, like if he was healthy, would he be the wide receiver one in the draft?
He was
Probably.
probably yeah. If he was healthy, he probably was going to be the wide receiver one in the draft, and that's and I think that's why Detroit was still like yeah, no, we're still going to grab this kid. We already
Yeah.
have Amon Ra.
Yep. And we're Detroit. Like we're gonna fucking suck anyway.
I am stuffing the fattest fucking joint ever. Like, I realized like how long like I've been doing this. I'm like, damn, like, am I even gonna be able to smoke this before the game start? Like, shit. I'm like filling this joint all the way to the top.
You're like I am going to get fucking ripped.
Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah. There we go. See, that's perfect. Leave a little bit of space there. What are you thinking about the Dallas game, the Dallas Washington game? And be honest.
I'm thinking that's going to be a shit show, but Cooper Rush has actually looked surprisingly solid. And as a CD Lamb guy, I'm looking forward to it. As a Tony Pollard guy, I'm looking forward to it. As a football fan, we saw an interesting 61-yard attempt by the Saints that just hit the bar and went and didn't make it.
Oh
So
shit.
nice ending. Nice ending to the London game. But yeah, I think in this game, I think the Cowboys win it. I think the Cowboys are a little bit better than we're giving them credit for. Cooper Rush can move this offense, and Micah Parsons on defense is looking like one of the best players in this game. He's going to be able to, I feel like, get the pass rush on Carson Wentz, and he's going to be able to stop the run. He's going to be the player of the game, and I think the Cowboys pull this one out. I'm just not a believer in the Commanders' offense. I think Wentz is going to make too many mistakes.
Okay. Okay. I'm in agreement with you with you there. I think that Washington does win this because I mean if you're gonna get a bounce back game, like I feel like it's gonna kind of be this one.
Has to be this one.
Yeah.
Has to be
Um.
this one.
So I find today quite.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with you on that one. In this matchup, I personally I'm playing Tony Pollard. I know a lot of people are going to still play Zeke because he's the RB1. He's getting most of the volume. But I am playing Tony Pollard in this game, and I'm not having much hesitation about it. Tony Pollard has looked like he has been that dude. He is eventually going to get that spot, whether it be injury, whether it be opportunity. But I'm a Tony Pollard believer. I like him in this game, and I like Dallas in this game. Wow, it's a very, very, very tough beat for the Saints though, because it hit the side of the crossbar, then it hit the bottom, and then it bounced out. So that definitely is a bad beat. Well, not a bad beat, but just a hard beat to take because I mean it's a 61-yard field goal. Like more than likely, you're not supposed to make it. So it is what it is. I think there's a bunch of interesting games though that we're gonna have this week. One of them being the Titans and the Colts. That's in division matchup. So you expect them to really beat up on each other. Right now, it's the Colts -4, Titans +4. Titans haven't really looked that good. I think that when we're looking at the Titans, one of the big things that we're trying to figure out is what's going on with Burks because everyone's expecting him to be that number one, and he really hasn't shown it yet. I think Woods has started to show a little bit more viability than Burks.
Burks is among rookies wide receiver 5.
Yeah,
They're getting them worked in,
but he just hasn't blown up yet.
but that team isn't blowing up right now. So I mean, what is like what are you saying? Like that team hasn't gotten it all together yet.
No, but I mean, do they get it all together? I
Not today.
I think Tannehill is done.
I don't think that Tannehill's done.
Not physically, but
Weapons.
mentally. Mentally, that dude, he like after the loss that they had in the playoffs, didn't he have to go to like get psychiatric help? And then they drafted Malik Willis. And then he was all pissy and upset and had the bad media about that. Then he started out this season. He's looked okay, not great. Derrick Henry has kind of come back to earth.
Tannehill's fine. Tannehill's fine.
I don't know. I'm just not a believer anymore. He's pushed himself to the point of I think that by the end of the season, Willis is going to get a shot.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
He only 264, a pass TD and an interception. He had a rush TD and a fumble. Versus Buffalo, he was trash. He was decent versus the Giants, but I mean,
Olave had a fucking big day, 16.7 fantasy points.
Oh, dude, that catch that he made at the end had to be like maybe like 40 yards. Let me take a look here. Because I started him in one league.
Cook 10.6 fantasy points today.
Yeah, it was a 32-yard catch that he had to get him near field goal range. Damn, bro. I started Olave and Taysom Hill in the same league. And now I'm swapping out Chris Godwin for I'm taking Akers out and putting Chris Godwin in.
All right, so I'm on Washington. You're on Dallas.
Yep.
We're both on the Jets, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're probably both on the Chargers.
Yep, we're both on the Chargers.
I even like the Chargers minus 5.5.
Are we? We're both on Arizona.
Yep. Seattle.
We're both on Seattle, I think. I think we're both on Seattle in that one.
Because of all the weapons being out, I can agree with that. That's over under 48.5, though. That I think that's a huge line.
I did not play that. No, that's a trap. That's a fucking trap.
Fucking huge.
That's
and it can go either way easily. I could see it either way easily.
That shit can definitely sway either way.
Yeah.
Fuck no. You're not playing the over. If you're playing that game today, you're playing the money line straight up. You're making a definitive decision.
Yep.
One way or another. I don't see that game tying or anything like that. Nope. You're making a definitive decision.
And it's plus 150 for the Hawks and negative 175 for the Lions.
Because of the injuries and the Hawks being the underdog, you're not going to get that value. Again, you're taking Seattle today.
It's a nice little parlay. If we take two of those teams that we just said, the Jets and the Seahawks, money line, 10 pays 60.
The Jets and Seahawks, 10 pays 60. I think
that's an interesting parlay. Because while, yes, either one of those teams could lose, but there are the underdogs. Their money lines combined makes for a plus 500, which makes it super interesting to me. Like, if you could add like one or two more teams into that'd be interesting. Like, really interesting.
Let's say, so if you go...
Okay, better one. What about Colts and Titans? Colts are negative 195. Titans are plus 165.
The Colts beating the Chiefs last week let me know that team is gonna be decent. They're not gonna be great. They're gonna be decent, and I think that they're decent enough to fucking overcome Tennessee. Tennessee's just not doing well.
I agree with you. They're looking shoddy.
But there's also only Shaquille Leonard really, for Indy. But Derrick Henry can easily just run a shoulder through that motherfucker's face.
You're right, but that Indy defense is not bad enough where I can expect that. Like, if it was a different defense, maybe Colts defense over the years, and Buckner should still be there, right? Healthy.
It's Rumtober, so we have to come into this expecting the unexpected.
This might be a Burks game and a Woods game.
It could. It
That's
could.
where I think they might have to go with it. Like, I just don't see Henry being able. Like, if you're the
Like,
Colts, you come in and say, "Beat me with your arm, Tannehill." Henry can't beat us because, like you said, he's that guy. Like, the game plan should be stopping Henry and seeing if Tannehill can push, because the Colts should be able to shoot out enough, or Matt Ryan should be able to keep up with Tannehill enough. But and Jonathan Taylor should be able to outpace Henry. So you make Henry shut down, and you put this all on Tannehill.
this is going to be a game of running backs. This will be a low scoring affair.
Over-under's at 43 on this one.
Over. Okay, well that's a low enough that I think I took the over on that because that's like low enough to where like yeah, like you could get like 23-23
Yeah.
like heading into like the third, fourth quarter.
Yep. That's 3 touchdowns pop at 21, 42. So, that's saying that there's more than 6 touchdowns essentially scored in this game. 6 touchdowns and a field goal, and you win.
Yeah. I could see this going. I could see that going over 43. 43 is a low fucking line.
Yeah.
Like what are you saying that this game's going to be 13-10?
It's not. It's only 3.5 points difference between the Giants line and the Colts line. And the Giants are facing the Bears. That's 2 of the worst offenses right there. And it's only basically 4-point difference between them. So I think that gets crazy.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that you like Giants over Bears in this one, right?
Yeah, the Bears aren't good.
No, they're not.
The Bears aren't good.
Nope.
And I don't think that it's coaching or anything. Like they're just not. They've made like so many bad decisions for so long. Excuse me.
Yep.
That it's just not good. Justin says, thoughts on this? He already hit the Minnesota money line. Excuse me.
Cool.
Under 41.5 for the Jets versus Steelers. That line is so low that can hit over. I have that one hitting over. Titans plus 3.5. I think that's fair. Chargers money line, Rams money line. Let's ride. Money line. He's going with Denver there. It's risky. I think the riskiest part is the Jets Steelers.
Yeah. I like the last 2 that you have. Chargers money line, Rams money line. I think those are super solid.
The Denver one is a little scary. The Denver one's a little bit scary. I'm not gonna lie, but like I said earlier, with analyzing that game, and I'm gonna keep on saying it. Vegas knows something. An 0-3 team should not be fucking favored right now.
I think that's mainly though because of how bad the Broncos offense has looked in these games. Because because that's the one thing. If they figure out their offense, then I don't think that they're underdogs in this game. Like
I don't
if
think
the
that they have their
Broncos
offense
offense
figured
was
out.
halfway decent, then you would probably say they're not underdogs.
I feel like the Raiders know more about themselves right now than the Broncos know about themselves. Give me Vegas for their first win today.
For real.
Like, but I like. Don't get me wrong. Denver being a dog, and if Denver pulls that out, and then you have, Raider Nation going like starting off October 0-4. I could see shit starting to really go downhill for Vegas. For the Raiders. Rest of the season, like you're 0-4. Like your confidence has got to be kind of shot after losing 4 games in a row. 3 games in a row, you're probably coming into this one. You're looking at the way that Denver's played, and you're like, you know what? No, we got this. This is our bounce back. Like this is time for us to get our lick back.
Okay. Packers and Patriots. I'm pretty sure we like Packers in this one, right?
Yeah, we like Packers in this one.
We like Packers 9.5 in this one.
Dortch is projected for 10.5 fantasy points. Marquise Brown projected for 14.7. Just want to throw that out there. So those that are inquiring about Dortch and are like, well, Rondale Moore is back. I think that Dortch is outworking Rondale Moore out of his position, and we know this with Arizona. Going back to that Packers game, what were you saying, bro?
I was saying, do we like the Packers 9.5 though? They're minus 9.5 in that game. Would you take them money line, or would you take them with the spread?
So I always preach taking the money line, just because money line typically is always going to pay you out
Yep.
more. But I have no problems with the spread, right? Just because New England has been that bad.
Yep.
No one is talking about New England anymore.
Nope.
New England is not getting media coverage like that anymore.
Nope.
There was a point in time where these fuckers were on every segment, on every sports channel.
Even when Mac Jones first got there, they were like, "Oh my God, Mac Jones!"
Yeah.
Now they can't do that.
No one is talking about the Patriots, bro.
Nope.
And that's something that's something to honestly take note of, and that's something that is very, very noteworthy. And let's take into account, guys, that field conditions, especially in the South right now, are probably shit for a lot of these teams that are playing outdoors or are domeless.
Yep. All right, so check this out. I'm gonna do a quick parlay for $10. I'm gonna take the Jets money line. We just covered that one. I'm gonna take the Seahawks money line. We just covered that one. I'm gonna take the Colts money line. We just covered that one. Giants money line. I'm gonna take them. It's a little bit risky, but again, we just talked about that. Chargers. I'm taking the money line. We just talked about that. Rams. We just talked about that one as well. I'm taking them money line.
Did we talk Rams?
Did we talk Rams? You know what? The guy brought up. He's taking Rams money line, so I'm piggybacking on him money line. That's an interesting one because it's a 1.5 spread between the two teams, and it looks like the Rams are the underdog because it's Rams plus 1.5. So I'm taking Rams money line on that. And last two that I'm taking in this, Packers money line. We just talked about that. And then to speak to a game that we were talking earlier, Eagles. I'm taking the money line. I'm a little bit hesitant on it because it is a revenge game for the coach from Jacksonville, which is a nice little wrinkle to this because he might pull out some things out of the playbook that he hasn't shown. But I'm still having some faith in Jalen Hurts to be that guy. So I'm taking that one. So it's an 18 parlay. You bet $10, you win $752.85.
I like it. Just one of my concerns is, let's say everything hits.
Yep.
You're now heading into Monday night with that Rams game, sweating.
Yeah.
So that's the only bad part about putting a Monday night game in with the Sunday slate, is that you're carrying over the stress into the next day.
But the difference in winnings, it goes from 367 to 750.
Exactly. So I say play that.
Hell yeah, baby.
And just hope that it doesn't bust within the day today.
Yeah, I mean, hell, it's $10. I put a bunch of $10 wild ones. It's an 18 parlay. The odds are against me, but you know what?
Oh,
Don't tell me the odds. Don't
exactly. Never tell me the odds. What are we thinking about Cleveland, Atlanta?
I was looking at that, dude. That is a definition of a toss-up, but I'm if the Browns didn't look so good on that other game that they just played, I think it was the Thursday night game versus the Bengals, I would probably be pushing Atlanta because I like the weapons that Atlanta has, but the Browns coach just seems to really get it, and he knows how to make his pieces work. And that to me says a lot. And I'm going to take actually the Browns in this one. Although I need Marcus Mariota to have a big game.
I'm taking the Browns. I don't believe in Atlanta. And Atlanta has some fucking movie coming out with Amari Hardwick. It's just they're trying too hard now.
Yeah.
I am very much anti fucking Falcons. I am very, 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 very much anti Falcons. I'm just gonna be straight up. You might want to get over to your Rum Zone channel or to your Red Zone channel.
Yeah.
I just looked at the time. I was like, oh shit. I was
we got 7 minutes here before shit gets sweet.
Yep. We're gonna actually switch over to the other stream. We'll continue the conversation. We're just gonna switch over to the other stream so that people know that this shit's about to start. So
Game time.
yep, we will be right back. Literally in 2 seconds, right? Like
Until
so.
then, people.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna play the outro because you guys are gonna see the fucking same outro on the intro for the next stream. So cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rumboyz girls. What it do, dilly dilly. We'll see y'all in a few. Peace.
Catch you on the flip side.